The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Thursday, Brigade. What's up? Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. He's Dave Sherapan. I'm Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. Same on X Twitter. Live there, replayed on Sirius XM, channel 159, and on Sports Grid TV 6 days a week. You see Dave tonight and tomorrow night. I won't be there tomorrow night or Saturday, but back next weekend. More on that later. So I've got the Red Sox hat on here, heading back to my neck of the woods on a red eye tonight. But Dave, we got a big show today. We got Mike Palm joining us. We got a big announcement this morning with our friends at Circus Sports.
Yes, we do. It's official. Football season, sign-ups, contests, circa, big money guarantees. We'll let Mike tell everybody all about that. We have talking points, we have slides, we have all kind of things. If you guys are just getting here, hit the like button. We went over the number yesterday, 62.5 was a good number. We got the 70 that I saw last night, so thank you for that. Hit the subscribe button as well. That's inching up daily. That's good. We'll be here. We'll be here even tomorrow while you're back east. That's good. I can't wait to see the venue that you get set up, whether this actually happens. Or
I have no idea what, I mean, I got to get there first to see what the venue is going to be like. At the moment, it's going to be the backwoods of New Hampshire. There'll be some greenery in the background, but it might not. But I might put myself in the basement. I don't know. I may just go down and do the basement shot. So
probably not a bad move. We'll
see what the background's going to be, and what delirious level of I'll be in, considering it's a red eye flight. So if I get 4 hours of sleep tonight, I'll be happy. That's the goal. So I don't normally. Can you do the neck pillow thing? Because I'm trying the for the first time.
Flew to Chicago. You saw me pass out instantaneously.
You did pass out
instantaneously. I woke up about 3 hours into that flight.
I didn't sleep.
Finally given in.
I didn't sleep at all.
You did. You slept for about 30 minutes.
Oh,
I watched you. You put the phone down.
Yeah,
and you went to sleep. I actually have a picture of you sleeping.
Oh,
I'm saving for when needed.
Yeah. You can't wait a minute. This is not fair because I'll take pictures of you with the mouth guard. I could be.
I had the mouth guard.
I could be very mean if you're going to pull this out. Next time we fly, I will 100% take a picture of you looking like you're about to play football with a mouth guard and a full-on head thing on, like you're Lyle Alzado about to go and play in the 1980s.
I was. That's what I mean. Listen, I got to put that thing in. It helps me sleep, so it worked. But yeah, you were sleeping, so that's good. Hopefully,
interesting. Okay,
because
I didn't realize I fell asleep. That's good.
Day game after a night game and a night trip. Sometimes it might be a little bit rough, but Roll Call Friday will commence tomorrow. We need everybody.
I can check New Hampshire. I got the New Hampshire check off myself on that, right?
That's good. Between you and Jay Buck, we check New Hampshire every week. The number tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree, Dave. Daily Pics. That's not creepy at all, Dave. Taking pictures of people sleeping.
That's one of my favorite things. I do that with the kids all the time.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I just looked over and you were nice. You were just passed out. Looked like you were, gone, but you were just sleeping. So that was fine.
I can sleep on planes, but we'll see what tonight's going to be like because it's an overnight flight. So we'll see. Yeah, the red eye cruise. Like leaving Vegas is always much better than coming to Vegas. So people tend to be hungover, tired. They want to sleep.
Weeknight flights out are good.
Yeah.
Like if you're flying out on Friday night, even is not bad. But what you can't go on Sunday. Like Sunday leaving from here.
Oh, leaving Sunday's brutal. Yeah, no. It's impossible.
No.
Yeah,
I
all
recommend
the time.
If you come, wrap your trip around to Monday or Tuesday to get out of here. Roll Call Friday will be tomorrow, but today I want to shout out Pierre in the Cut. He's got us on the TVs in the barbershop in Indy. So all the boys
Indianapolis,
there
right?
watching.
It's in Indianapolis, right? Not just Indiana, but Indianapolis, right?
In Indianapolis, yes. And we got somebody driving up the 95 right now. Rainmaker Lou, Sweet Lou from the 412 is driving from South Carolina back up to Pittsburgh. So he's listening and watching us on the road. We might get 2 or 3 states today from
Do
him.
we know? Yeah. Everyone's telling me I should take gummies tonight. I'm gonna take a melatonin. My daughter takes 1 milligram melatonin. I've never taken one. So I'm gonna pop a 1 milligram melatonin tonight to see if I can knock myself out. So we'll see how that goes. I got some like those like I don't know, blindfolds type of thing. So we'll throw that on. Hopefully that will knock me out too.
Just turn your phone off and go to sleep.
Well, the phone being off is easy. I put music on and just go to sleep. That's not that big of a problem.
Right,
But it's
so
still
you need all this
awkward.
other stuff for it.
I
You need
know.
blindfolds. You need this.
Yeah.
I'll keep your hat down like this. Just gone. Bye. See you.
I used to be able to do that. I can't do that nearly as enough.
Really?
As much. Yeah, I used to be like you. I used to go to the window. I used to go ahead and just slap myself down and wake me up when I'm there.
Yeah.
Now now I'm on the aisle. I'm an aisle person now. And I don't sleep all that much. I do not take my shoes off. No, Vinny, you do no. Shoes must stay on. You can't do the shoes off. You're not in your living room. You can't like get that comfortable. Take your shoes off. Yeah, that's gross. People do that. I'm like, come on, man.
And you sleep on a plane. Give the boys and girls something to vote for right now.
Already?
Just get them right. Yeah, before Paul gets here and we start talking about to get deep into the contest and all this other stuff. Can you sleep on a plane? Yes or no?
Okay, that's up.
Yes, minus 150.
Yeah, I think everybody would probably be able to say Ambien, sure. Chill from the aisle. Yeah, Stevie. It was absolute hell coming back out. Yeah. 6 gummies, 3 Advil PMs, and 2 melatonin. You still couldn't sleep, Chef?
Who said that?
Chef Benny.
What the hell's wrong with you, Chef B? You got a little baby. You should be able to sleep on command.
Yeah. So that's
New parents.
Pre-baby though. That was pre-baby. If you guys are not used to watching the show late into the show and like you come in early, you're gonna get a treat because you haven't heard it before. Most people have heard it before, but you got to watch the speak. It's the Brigade Proxy Service NFL story of the day at the top of the show, boys and girls.
Surprised everybody with that one.
Shocked everybody. That's normally a 45-minute to a 50-minute into the show thing. This is the top of the show. Brigade Proxy Service NFL story of the day. We are fired up for this. As I mentioned before, Mike Palm from Circus Sports will be on the program here in about 24 minutes to talk about what's going on today as Circus Sports makes the announcement for their guarantee for their football handicapping contest. We'll start with what they announced, which is a lot of darn money to be available. $16 million in guaranteed prizes to be available now for Circa. You got $6 million in the Circa Million. That's a weekly pick contest. 100% payback to players. There is no rake to be taken from Circa. So whatever comes in goes right back to the players. Quarterly prizes. Also, it will be dictated by how much money we're playing for here, but $6 million. Circa Survivor. 10 million guaranteed. My gut tells me we're going over 10, maybe close to $12 million. That is one team to win straight up each and every week with no point spread to be available, to be used. You must be in Nevada each and every week to enter. It is $1,000 for each entry to be a part of this. But Dave, $16 million are going to get some eyes, is it not?
Without a doubt. Let me just correct you real quick. You need to be in Nevada to register for the contest
and enter the picks.
Well, someone has to be in Nevada.
Yeah, someone.
Picks. That's where the Brigade Proxy Service comes in.
Right.
We'll help you do that. So if you're interested in doing this contest, you have to come out once, and then after that, you'll communicate your picks every week. Now, the Survivor's unique because there's no spreads. Pick a winner. The catch is you can't pick them again. So you have to strategize. If you've ever done Survivors before, it's a lot of fun. And last year they got $9.2 million in the pot. Garen, that was 4 people split it. And
which is easier?
Over 10. I don't know. We've had this debate as we meet people. The Survivor has more popularity. I don't know if it's easier. I don't know.
I think the Survivor is perceived to be easier because you can literally track the path you want to take before the year ever begins.
And then after week 6, you throw it all out.
Maybe, but you can at least have some type
Plan.
of strategy and plan as to
Yeah.
this is what we're going to do. It's a 20-week schedule. Remember, Survivor is unique because you've got individual weeks for Christmas and Thanksgiving. So that's your curveball. Okay. So Black Friday and Thanksgiving, that's a week. And then the following Sunday, that's also a week. So even though it's technically the same week of the schedule, it's 2 weeks for Survivor. So you got to keep yourself alive for like the Raiders and the Chiefs, right? They're the Black Friday game. So you might go, all right, I like the Chiefs to win that game, so I need to hold on to the Chiefs all the way until Black Friday. I mean, you can't use them any other week leading up to it. So I think people perceive it to be a little bit easier. There's more money available, though.
In what? Oh, you froze.
Oh.
That was a death stare freeze. Mikey Awesome will cut that, clip that 100%. That actually alarmed me. I'm like,
so you have the chance to do, there's more money in Million because Million will give you a chance to win a quarter pole. And technically that's all. When I tell people like, what are you playing for? You're playing for a 4 to 5 week hot stretch. Are you not?
I mean, yeah.
It's $125,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, if you get it done, if you go for, 19-1, and we talked to Z over when we were in Chicago, he was live.
Relived
darn
that.
Falcons took him out. And this is one of the fun things about doing it with us because you have direct access to Dave and I with the Brigade Proxy Service. And we were debating whether we should tell him because the Falcons 1 week, Dave and I both looked at each other and went, oh no, he picked the Falcons. Like, this is not good. But if we had told him, don't pick the Falcons, and the Falcons had won, and that was the game that cost him thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that would have been sickening.
You and I would have been like, oh, sorry. Like, that's not what we want to do. We don't want to talk you guys off anything, but, we can help. We can give you opinions if you want, and you're going to text directly to us every week or email.
Watch the show. I mean, we
watch the show
contest every week, and the different plays, and then the advantage that you guys can come on the show, start to get hot and start to roll. You just have a direct access to us, and we can see if we can get you on the show. Different topics. I don't know, for the people that like the spreads, the Survivor is way harder because you're used to looking at spreads. The spreads are fixed. They come out every Thursday in Circa. And you get them, we'll email them to you with the service and all this other stuff. So you see them, you can stare at them and kind of just
watch the line move, watch the move.
Right. You can watch them. Injury reports come Friday, send the picks in Friday night or Saturday morning. And then the difference is you have a bad week at Survivor, it's over.
Yep.
It's done. And you can talk about what could have been and what was. When you have a bad week in the Circa Millions, you pick 5 more games the next week. And they put that little unique hook in with the booby prize. If you start to pick bad, there's a bottom every quarter price. There's a bottom overall price.
50,000.
Right.
To go to be bad.
It's $100,000
for the season. Yeah. So
picking losers is just hard to pick
just
winners
as hard.
when you're
just
trying
as
to
hard.
Pick losers.
100%. Trying to lose is just as hard as trying to win.
Yeah.
Just as hard. And I mean, going 500 is pretty much what happens. Like, it's just Stevie, I get it. Survivor's the way to go. Either you have confidence or you don't, but you'll see it in the first 2 weeks. Thousands of entries will go out because you think, all right, this team, like, there's no way the Eagles are going to lose in week 1. And then they lose in week 1. It's like, what just happened? It's $1,000 money line bet you just lost.
I think the first 3 weeks are the hardest.
For Survivor, I would agree. It's like you're just trying to avoid the landmine.
You don't know. And now they've messed up the preseason. So you really don't have a feel for opening week, second week. Like, the teams are still figuring it out. And I think, by the time you get through September, if you survive, you have a much better feel for, I'm picking this game or this game. Like, you can narrow it down to 2 or 3 every week. You don't have to worry about the noise. It's just as it heightens, we had Spooky on Mark Goldberg last year when he was down to the last 20 people.
But they were smart. They cut it and they started to, do some things. They all came out profitable.
Yeah. But that was nerve-wracking. I mean, every day you're, 1 week closer to life-changing money. It's a lot of fun. And so we got to meet the Jets guy that ended up being one of the 4. I met him. We couldn't coordinate schedules to get him on the show, but he's like, I got to come back and pick up 2.1 million.
Good problem to have. You need to schedule my trip to come back and pick up $2.1 million. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the other interesting addition this year to Circa is if you're coming to town to sign up for the contest.
Yeah.
Circa is giving you a couple different cool things. All right. The first, if you are going to sign up, they're giving you a 25% price break at either Circa, the D, or the Golden Gate. That's for one entry. If you come in and do 5, 3, 2, 2, 3, whatever denomination, whatever 4, 1, whatever you do, they're giving you a 25% discount on up to 3 nights at Circa, the D, in the Golden Gate. They're giving you a 3-night stay complimentary if you come in and do all 10 entries in either contest. You can do 10 in Survivor, 5 and 5. 5 is the maximum for millions. And then a complimentary 3-night stay at either Circa or at Circa rather for 15. That's the full house. 5 entries in the million and 10 entries in Survivor. So just keep this in mind if you guys are going, all right, I'm going to come to town for a night. They're giving you a price break to stay. And frankly, it's not all that expensive to stay in Vegas over the summer. So 25% break at Circa, the D, or Golden Gate. You're not going to break the bank coming to town to stay over. So you fly in, sign up, stay over, fly back the next day. It's pretty simplistic. So that I like that Circa's doing that to give people a chance. Chef Benny, I just want the hat again.
Just want the hat again. Everybody wants the hats.
I got 4 of them. I got 4 of them. The most expensive hats in Vegas, more expensive than Dave's hats.
Yep. I got them all. I got my collection.
We got Circa Million 4. We got Circa Million 2.
Right.
We got
original stickers on them,
Circa Million. That's the 5. Circa Million. There's Circa Million 3.
Yeah.
I don't know where the first one went. The Circa Million 1 is somewhere around here. But yeah, I've got all the hats too. So yes, they're $1,000. Each one of these hats represents $1,000. So how it is. Most expensive hats in. What if you do a 3-night stay at Spearmint Rhino? We learned that, right? You get the cops called on you when you have a 3-day stay.
That guy didn't leave. Yeah.
The police, Stevie. The police come and see you. So you got on that. So I think it's what's fun about all of this. I think for a lot of people who haven't done it before, Dave and I have told you this, and I think it's the best way of doing it. Get a buddy, get a couple of people, get your office together. It's $1,000, but between 4 of you, it's $250. One of you comes out. So one of you flies out to sign up, or both of you, or all of you come out. But you and a friend, you come out and you sign up. I know $500 is a lot of money for some people. I know $1,000 is for a lot. But what's your bankroll for football? Like, how much money do you think you're going to spend on a football season? It's what? We did the math. It's $86 a week, right?
And if it's 20 weeks, technically it's $50 a week.
So, that's not bad. You're going to bet more than that, most likely, right? So this could take care of your gambling for the entire year, and it's 5 games or 1 game that you're pulling for every week. And you have a chance to win a lot of money. It's a contest, okay? It's a contest. It's not gambling per se. At least in Nevada, they don't consider it gambling. It's not ruled gambling. It's a contest. So just however way you guys want to look at it, it's the way you do it. So teams, you can do it individually. Heck, we know people who are going to do 10 entries because 10 different people are going to sign up and one person's coming out to sign them up.
Yeah.
You can do that. Only one person has to physically be here to sign up for your entire office if you guys all want to get together and do it.
And the max entries for one person is 10 for Survivor, 5 for millions. And you can coordinate the picks that way. We got a pretty good system with the admin and stuff trying to get that done. So it's easy. It seems intimidating at first. And then once you do it, you're like, oh, this is actually really kind of fun. And, you know, you got a shot at some significant money. But it's like, I equate it to this fantasy football draft. The draft is everything. Like you get together with the boys and the girls and whomever, and you all get together and do the draft. You get 2 days, come out Vegas, sign up, go hang out, play blackjack together, go to stadium, swim if you're at Circa, do whatever, go out to eat, and then, you know, strategize how you're going to pick the first month and all this other stuff. And then everybody goes home. It's a great way to just connect in person with people. And then the phone calls and text every week are
so fun. It's fantastic. It's great. I mean, you get to connect with your buddies, talking about all sorts of things. It's very, very cool. So if you are coming to town, signups begin tomorrow here in Vegas at 9 a.m. Tomorrow at all Circa locations. That's Circa, obviously, the D, the Path, which is out in Henderson.
Yep.
You can go to now the Silverton, which is for you California folks. If you're coming in California, the Silverton's there. And then if you don't want to go to downtown, the Tuscany, where we've been quite a bit with a lot of people, also you can sign up there as well.
Right
so
off the strip.
So if you are coming to town, you're going to text us 702-570-8255. Matt and Dave, I want to sign up. Here's my time. Here's I'm coming in. We will coordinate. We will do this show around you. Okay. So in the summertime, just FYI, if there's a weird, like, hey guys, we're doing the show at 1 o'clock today, or we're doing the show at 8 a.m. today. Why? We got 5 people coming in the afternoon. So we got to be off, right? Just heads up. The show time may fluctuate based upon the ability to sign people up.
No.
Okay. What?
The Pirates just
I know.
Gave up all the runs.
Yeah, hold on. We'll get to that in a second. TheBVBShow.com is the website to go and send us an email. If you don't want to text us, you can email us there. There's a big old button right in the middle of it saying to sign up for the Brigade Proxy Service, TheBVBShow.com. So Mike Palm will join us here in about 10 minutes to talk more about this. It is Skenes Day. I did not want to lay the minus 150 because I did not trust your bullpen. So I was like, I'm not laying 150. So I did the same bet I did with you at Wrigley, where I took Skenes strikeout props, bet the over, and Pirates money line. They both will miss today. The books went crazy. I don't know why this happens. I would love for somebody to do a realistic run on the record for the sports books when they do bonuses for certain plays and props. Every book had a Pirate bonus. Every book had a Skenes K bonus. They're both going to miss.
What was the K prop? 6.5 or 7.5?
They moved. Every book was different. Some books had it at 5. Some books had it at 6. Some books had it at 7. Some books had it at 8. Like they all moved it around based upon the price as to how much they were going to give you.
Okay.
But a win, I saw one book because someone sent me a message from FanDuel and said it was 6.5, over 6.5 for Skenes. Pirates win at plus 150. I got it 7 or more. Pirates win at plus 104 overnight before they did the bonus.
Okay.
They both will miss because your bullpen just gave up a ton of runs.
Yeah.
Is it 6-5 or worse?
Oh, it's 6-6 now.
Okay. They tied it. All right. So maybe they will win. That's good.
The Pirates were winning 6-1.
Correct. Yes. And they blew up. Yeah. So it's 6-5.
Excuse me.
All 3 of these games, by the way, 6-9-5, now 6-6. Every game of this 3-game set have gone over.
Right.
Between these two. And the Giants don't score.
Rainmaker Lou, look at this.
That's tremendous.
Yeah. Here comes the heat.
Did he make that himself?
Look. No.
He bought that. Okay. I was gonna say, my goodness
he
gracious.
Delivered that in Chicago. Hat tip to him. Thank you. I was all excited today.
Yeah, the Skenes ladder prop.
Sammy P wrote an article about Skenes and had me talking about it. It was on MLB on Fox today.
Nice.
All this other stuff. The books are going to have an interesting decision. I think it's a good thing that they offered a boost because it gets people involved, but you got to be careful when you play them.
Yeah, it's bait. I agree. I hate it. I hate it. People DM me. I don't know what they're going to boost until the morning. And then I got up and my DMs were full of people going like, oh no, Matt, the book's boosted the Skenes prop. It's like, yep, it's dead. And betting pros, I have no control, guys, over what betting pros, when they don't do graphics for my individual plays. They only do graphics for my parlay bets, and I'm now 1-7 doing it. When they make a graphic, I'm now 1-7 with the graphic. So whenever I see the graphic in the morning, I'm like, oh no, that bet's doomed.
See, now we saw Coach Apoka, Brian,
Right.
in Chicago, and
We
he
did.
had a shirt on that said, "Don't bet a parlay."
Which is the old name of the Friday Parlays Tomorrow's podcast.
Which should be the name of this parlay, it sounds like.
You're
What
right.
do you
Hey,
keep
JC,
doing this?
I don't believe I don't believe in jinxes.
Oh,
I just don't believe I don't believe I have the power to impact a game. I'm just saying it's a legitimate number. You can call it whatever you want it. Don't bet parlays. I'm 1-7 betting parlays. I've gone 6-2 before this day. I was 3-1, 3-1 going into today. But yes, I think you got to bet Paul Skenes' first fives. You're right, Lou, because betting the bullpen is bad right now. I mean, the Pirates bullpen is absolute garbage. He should be 3-0. Your bullpen's blown 2 wins for the guy.
Yeah. Well,
Stinks.
I don't want to besmirch the Pirates yet. I want them to be good so bad. And it's exciting. And, I talked about it with Sammy. I said, it's hope. It's
Skenes goes 93 pitches, 6 innings, give 6 hits, 1 earned run, just 3 Ks, however, which is wild because the Giants average 9 Ks a game on the road.
Yeah.
And they struck out 12 times yesterday.
I know.
So they came in, either Skenes decided to pitch to contact, or the Giants were like, we're not striking out today, boys. Like, this guy's not going to make us, we're not going to make this kid into a supernova. We're not going to K 10 times or 11 times like the Cubs did.
Got to work the count. When strikeout pitchers, you have to work the count, or you have to hit the first strike you see. You can't let them get 1 on you, then 2 on you, and then start with that down pitch and that splitter that's 91 and all that other stuff, because the fastball's hard enough to hit. So
I don't know. Do you think he was tired? Think Skenes was tired? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so, Nicky.
90 big. He's a horse.
He's
I don't
a
think
beast. I don't think
he pitched
tired.
more in college.
Listen, sometimes pitching during the day.
Bad calls. I didn't see the game.
Floodhouse.
Umpire squeeze him.
Wow.
Interesting.
I don't know. I didn't get to see as much of it as I wanted. I got to watch it later on that abbreviated app thing. I'll watch him pitch, but that's frustrating. They blew that game yesterday. Jones pitched good. Skenes pitched good today. 6-6. Go to extra innings. Here we go. Is it? Well, it's not. It's quite extra innings.
Top 8. Right? You're all right. Giants have a runner on second base. Top 8. Chapman just threw a wild pitch. So
Phillies are winning again today.
So they're up 4-1. So this is the Phillies are now 36-14 going into today. This is the best start to a year since the 2001 Mariners, who won 116 games, right? That's the record.
It's the best start since then, but it's the best start in franchise history for the Phillies.
And they're going to win on the run line again, which is rinse and repeat.
It's the 5th inning.
Bottom 4, 2 on, 1 out. They're already up 4-1. I mean,
oh yeah, hit refresh. There we go.
They're an absolute wagon, Lou. I agree. I mean, it's going to be incredible to see what this team can do because they're hitting. So that's the big thing. They're hitting. They're pitching on their top 3 rotation we talked about yesterday, but their top 3, people were saying bet against the Phillies today. I saw multiple places were like, take Texas. It's too much value, plus 180. And I was like, what? Just keep betting.
Bet against things like this.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just either pass or
I did. That's what
follow the crowd.
I passed it. But
I should have. You don't have to bet against it. Lou gave me this last night. I used this on Sports Grid. Team total for the Phillies,
right,
in their last 33 games, 29-4.
What was it today?
Probably
5, 5.5,
4.5.
It's gonna go over
I don't know.
again.
The game total was 8.
Bases loaded.
Probably 4.5, 3.5. Right?
Yeah. So the Phillies have scored. If you go back. Let's see.
29-4 over the last 33. You could just take the rest of the summer off if you bet that every day. That's real. That's up 26 or
That's
25
insane.
units.
The last time the Phillies failed to score more than 3 runs was the 8th of May. That's incredible. And before that, if you go to that, the last time they failed to score 3 runs was the 23rd of April.
Wow.
How about that? Starting on the 24th of April, the Phillies scored, I guess it would have been 4 runs against it. So April 24th, they lost 7-4 to the Reds. 5-9, 5-8, 6-7. Oh, they scored 2 runs there. So I guess against the May, it was 2-1. But 4, 14, 5, 6, 10, 3. That's the loss on May 8th. 8, 8, 6, 5, 4, 5. I mean, it's ridiculous. There are 4 runs or more every single game, basically. Since the middle of April, it's happened 3 times where they didn't score more than 4 runs.
Wow.
So it's 4.5, 5.5. Like that's their number every day, right? Just like a rinse and repeat number.
Yeah, depending on what the total of the game is. If it's 9.5, it's probably 5. If it's
7-6 Giants now.
4.5, 7-6 Giants.
Yuck.
Blowing the game. Here we go.
It's their bullpen. Brutal. But I mean, it's so wild to watch like this Phillies team because everyone who, if you come up and say this on X, Twitter, whatever, the first you're going to get it back quickly. They're beating up on sub 500 teams. Who cares? I don't know. I think winning is winning. Like people are going, look at who they've played and then come talk to me. I'm like, okay. Like they've played since April 1st, Cincinnati, Washington, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Colorado, Chicago White Sox, Cincinnati, Padres, Angels, Giants, Blue Jays, Marlins, Mets, Nats, Rangers. Like,
okay.
Do you put anything in that they're not playing the Braves, the Dodgers? They're not
no,
playing
they got.
the Yankees.
I mean, they got a lot of. They got all the games against the Braves left, right. They haven't played the Braves yet once.
Yep. Well, no, they played the Braves to start the year. Start the year.
Okay. So, I mean, one, you got to win the division games. That's most important. And then, but the wins count the same in April as they do in September.
Well, that's the whole adage, right? You can't win the division in April, but you can lose the division in April.
Yeah, you know they literally all count the same. So beat the bad teams you're supposed to beat. That's good. And then split or just go slightly over 500 with the other good teams and put yourself in a position to play every game at the bank. What's wrong with that? I mean, it didn't work last year. They got to the NLCS and lost. It happens. But they're tremendous. They got the best third starter in baseball, and it ain't even close. Ranger Suarez is an absolute monster. The horse going today in Wheeler, forget about it. Nola behind him. If they get any quality starts, they're scoring runs for the back end of the rotation. They may avoid that. Like, I think every team has a 5 or 6 game losing streak during the season.
Yep.
Depending on injuries, they may not. You may not beat them a whole week.
And that's the line, right? 60 wins, 60 losses is what you do in between that matters and what really comes into how you play and what your overall record is going to be in Major League Baseball. The thing about the Phillies, what I'm so impressed with is normally you see these types of offensive numbers in July and August when the weather is really warm in Philly. They're doing this in May and June, April and May. Like they're not doing this yet when it gets really warm. So what happens when the humidity in that ball at the bank? I mean, that thing in the summertime, that ballpark is a launching pad. I've been there. I mean, that's where you have Harper's numbers just go crazy. And Harper's going crazy right now for them.
It's impressive. And it's not just him, right?
Right.
It's a couple other guys. I don't know. I don't want to, I got all the Phillies stuff. I had a lot of Phillies tickets last year to get to the end.
And Turner's hurt too, but someone in chat pointed that Turner's hurt. they don't even have Trey Turner yet. When should they get Trey Turner back? I mean, that's going to
only help.
And Ranger Suarez technically is their number 3 starter, even though he's been their best, right? I mean, he's their third. He's been unhittable. He hasn't lost a game yet. It's 9-0.
And so good, like dominant good.
Not
just good, like dominant good. So, I don't know. The price was -200 today with Wheeler. Haney's leaves a lot to be desired.
He does.
So,
yeah.
Philly's rolling.
The Rangers in general have a lot to be desired. All right. We were talking about it earlier. Let's go right to it. Let's bring him back. He is
Got-
Mike Palm
got
from
him?
Circuit Sports joining us
Oh,
here.
put Mike in the big box. Look
Good
at
to
this.
get him on the show. Mike, Matt, and Dave, welcome back. How are you? Congrats on the announcement this morning.
Enough with the NOLA. NOLA is terrible. All right.
What?
If you score 3, he gives up 4. If you score 5, he gives up 6. Slow your roll on NOLA.
But
Philly's
so far,
great.
Mike, they score 6 when he gives up 5. They're winning the games he pitches.
Suarez and the Japanese kid for the Cubs have got to be 1-2. I mean, they don't have a bad start between them. It's been unbelievable so far. And yeah, the Phillies are fun to watch. I'm not a NOLA guy. That's all.
We had to learn how to see Imanaga's name. We're like, how do you say that guy's name? And now we know how to say that guy's name. Shota Imanaga. He's pretty darn good. He'll make us learn how to say his name with the way he's pitched. But so busy morning for you guys. Obviously, you're up very early making this announcement. $16 million in guarantee for the Million in Survivor. What's it like to roll this out? I know a lot of planning went into this for you guys.
Yeah, it's exciting, but I mean, I think this would have been the favorite. If you posted what we were going to do, what were the guarantees, what were the details, these would have all been the favorite. No big headlines here, really, just that we're going up to 10 after we surpassed the 8 last year with 9,200 entries. Pretty much Jeff Benson had all the rules written. We were just waiting to make sure the NFL, once they said they were going to play on Christmas, that there was a game that Thursday after, because you hate to make a week with only 2 games. I think that's really unfair.
Yep.
And if we did that, I think people might have shied away from getting in, right? Somebody's, I'm going to invest $10,000, but it comes down to only 4 teams, and that's going to be really complicated. I think it would have stunted the growth of the entry. So we go with the 4-game week with Thanksgiving, the 3 games in the Black Friday game with the Chiefs, and then the 3-game week, which is Christmas, and then the 26th with Bears and Seahawks. Little twist this year with Survivor in that, we kind of do the re-entry thing if you play the opening game and lost. Well, this year we have a Friday game as well as that Thursday night. So technically, somebody could load up 10 entries on Ravens, Chiefs, blow, then decide to flip a coin in Copa Brazil on Friday, blow there, and then buy 10 more again. So somebody could actually have 30,000 invested heading into the Sunday of week 1.
Woo! Wow. Okay. So that's good. Were you surprised? Because we kind of talked about it before. We're making numbers here. 10 for the Survivor. Not surprising. 6 for the Circa Millions. And that went a little bit higher. I thought it was going to be 5. But, Mike, we were trying to explain to people and people watching all over the country, up in Canada, wherever they're at. What do you think between the two, if you were trying to delineate or pick one? Matt asked me which one is harder. I can't decide which one is harder, Mike.
Survivor seems easy, but it isn't. That's the whole lure of the contest, right? You just got to pick a winner. And then when you lose, it's always a bad beat because you had a favorite and they lost. They turned it over 4 times. They missed a field goal. The quarterback got hurt.
Yep.
Tommy DeVito was great on a Monday night. I mean, it's all these crazy storylines, how you get out and you feel, I can't wait to get in next year because I can't have a bad beat again. For me, picking 5 games against the point spread every week is hard because there's not totals in there.
Yep.
And I like to play totals. When you look at it, and I'm not trying to sell one or the other, but when you look at it, it seems to be more consistent to people that finish top 10, top 20 in those millions types contests, right? Where you got to pick 70% or 68%. Now there's 150 ways to win the million, only one way to win the Survivor. But, if you want the full 5-month sweat, you're guaranteed that with the millions. And if you start out bad, you can angle booby. You get hot for 4 weeks, you can win 150,000 in a quarter. There's a lot of good things.
Yep.
For me, I think it's this. I think Survivor's more fun, and it's more of an everyman game where the people that win, right? It's a guy that sells roofing in Florida. It's an antique dealer. I mean, it's just everyday people that aren't pro or even semi-pro gamblers that seem to end up at the end of the rainbow with the pot of gold.
And Mike, you guys have added a new thing here for people coming in where you're giving discounts for depending on 1 entry, 5 entries, 10, or the full house entries to come in and stay at one of your properties for Circa the D or the Golden Gate. What was the thought process behind this? Were people coming in to give them a chance to stay at one of your properties when they sign up?
We kind of loosely did this the last couple of years, but then it was Jeff Benson doing one-offs and asking that, let's just make it a policy. Let's make it very simple. People have the question, I got to come to Vegas. Can I stay? Well, this is what you get, right? If you buy any entries, we're going to give you a casino rate at any of the casinos. If you get 10, you get 3 nights, 10 or more, you get 3 nights at the Deer Gate. You can pay an upgrade fee if you want to stay at Circa. It's usually like 69 to 79, 89 bucks a night. And if you do the full house, then you get 3 nights anywhere, including Circa. It's less work on Jeff and his team. He can focus on the things that are truly important, like going after man of the library or Point Sox or whoever he's beefing with.
Oh, that guy, man at the library. What is this guy's problem, Mike? Every day. I'm looking for that guy.
Inside Twitter joke for you guys don't understand what Mike is referencing. That is an inside Twitter joke with certain accounts that Jeffrey Benson likes to needle for time to time.
Yeah,
on this.
He got me mad. Mike, so the contest is, I try to explain it to people, like you can do this in a group setting. Like the fun part of either being with 2 guys, 4 guys, like if you pick, somebody's going to take a blame, yes, but like it's fun that way too. You don't have to fly solo for this mission, right?
I believe that the majority of entries in Survivor are corporations, right? It's groups, whether it's 2 guys, it's 4 guys, it's 10 guys. 2 years ago when they chopped 50-50, one guy was a sole entry, that Alex Brown, and he only had 1 entry. The other was a group of 6 guys that bought 9 entries, right? That's the much more common thing. Yeah. And you're right. Something goes wrong and you get to late in the week and you take one guy's pick over the other. But that's part of it. And it going in. You have to know that full and well going in. You can't. I know Amal Shaw, who I used to do the show with on VSiN. He partnered with different people for a few years and he said, Mike, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just going alone. If I lose alone, I lose alone. But that's also a guy that's, betting sports 365 days a year. Right. I think it's fun to do it with a group. I think the group discussions get fun each week on who we're going to use. Heck, most of the Millions entries are groups as well, debating which picks they're going to use each week, debating which of the 5, what's their confidence in each pick. I know Jeff Parles and Wes Reynolds shared an entry. They would spend 7 hours on the phone trying to come up with which 5 games they were going to use.
We did that one year, and the phone calls were wars.
They were.
By the time we were done, we were like, the hell with it. Just pick the Raiders already. I'm done. We can't come up with the 5th.
It's hard. That 5th one is definitely difficult to do. At the end last year, we saw something kind of unique, Mike, where on Twitter, everybody wanted to know with the Survivor, who's going to chop, and the groups and people having conversations going back and forth. You guys aren't part of that discussion, right? That's up to the players to figure that out at the end if they do want to go for a chop, correct?
Yeah, you have to play it out with us. We're going to award the winner, or we're going to chop it if everybody gets eliminated on the same week. So that's on, like Derek says, it's very complicated, right? You almost need to have lawyers involved because state taxes are different in each state where these people live. They're responsible for state taxes. So there's no state tax in Nevada and in Texas. And if you live in California, you have to give it all to the government or whatever it is. Yep. So it becomes complicated. So yeah, that's up to you. And I know lawyers did get involved and contracts were drawn up. And I think when there was 13, that's when they really started to talk about it. Yep. And then of course we had Sean Perry, who's the world's greatest gambler. This guy is great to have. I just invited him to another one of our blackjack. I mean, he is a beauty because I said the story of Survivor last year, why it was so good is because we had a perfect villain. Oh, right. And everybody that wasn't even playing, just following it, was so happy when they got eliminated, right? When the Patriots beat the Broncos and he was out, it drew so many more eyes to the contest because of how brash and brazen he was about everything.
I tell people that all the time. Like, you can follow along with it from a distance, but you might as well just come in and get involved in it, because Mike, describe the last week, because it's been fun. I literally make sure no matter what I'm doing, the last week of the NFL, I'm down there watching the guys sweat it out. Everybody's hanging out, and you're nervous and you're not, and it's life-changing money. And the last week is, how would you describe that?
It's very funny because the very first year, remember, 35 people chopped our very first year. That's before we had the 2 extra weeks. I think over half were at Bar Canada with us. Remember, Circa didn't exist yet then.
Right.
Nobody got eliminated that week.
Yep.
35 people used like 9 different teams, and nobody got it. That was like the truest sweat because there were so many different people. I think we've only had in our 4 years of Survivor, one person get eliminated on the final week. And it was like that crazy Colts-Texans game where the ball went through the hands and all that. Now, that gentleman who got eliminated and then it was a 2-way chop, I was sitting next to him. Okay. There's no way they didn't have a deal worked out because he was very calm through the whole thing. Right. I was watching him, right, as they got down 20. This guy, I mean, they would never went public with it, the 3 entries. But that convinced me in my heart of hearts that they probably had very little save to play for and probably almost chopped it 3 ways equally.
Mike, tomorrow, 9 a.m., you guys open up.
Yeah.
Is it going to be fun this year? You've added different places people can sign up. The Silverton now is available for you guys to have it. Do you expect to see more people coming to all your properties to sign up for these contests?
Might be helpful. The Silverton might be. I tell you, we screwed up Northern Nevada last year. We did our sign-up event there the first weekend in August. We didn't know about this car show they do there. And we were surprised how few people came from California to sign up. Well, the hotels were $600 a night because of this big car show. So we're doing it a week earlier this year, the last weekend in August. So hopefully that'll help with that. We also have a lot more people exposed to it in that, we didn't open in Illinois till the first week of October. So none of those people got our promotion or advertising of the contest last year. And we're up and running mobile in Kentucky. Now, those people still have to come to Nevada to register, but there's a lot more eyes on it. We get almost a full year building a customer base in Illinois and then the new exposure in Kentucky. So I think that will help. I mean, there's a lot of tailwinds for us with this contest, especially Survivor. I know Mitch and Paul said this morning they both expected it goes over 12,000 entries. I tried to temper it. I always like to take a low ball approach because, the key to being successful in life is really managing expectations. My father taught me that. It set the bar low. You're gonna be good most of the time. I really do believe it'll get close to 12. It'll be harder to get to the 6,000 in the millions. It's what I believe. It's just,
I agree.
It's a different animal, and it takes. There's not as much groundswell appeal to it, but maybe we get there. We're trying again for the 3rd time to get to the 6 million, and it's not shabby that we got 5,200 entries last year.
And the overlay comes into play too there, right? I mean, once we're a week out, you start hearing it nonstop, overlay. So that drives entries as well, right?
You get people coming in and buying a bunch up. The poker players always get involved where there's some EV. And then now in Survivor, they just wait till week 13 and see what share of what entry they want to buy now on the Survivor swap.
Right.
That's
right.
But they do in the millions. They'll come in and start buying up, max entry, because they know there's going to be $500,000 overlay, whatever. 2 years ago it was 1.3 million. Last year the overlay was 750,000. So, but we charted for 5 months. It all comes down to the last month. I mean, it goes like this, and then right at the end, right?
Yeah, we're already starting to take reservations in August, and everybody's making plans. We're trying to tell them come in earlier, and you get your run of the mill and everything else. But last one for me, Mike. We went to Chicago last week. Circa Sports got us out there. We did the Chicago show. We met the marketing team there. We did it from the over-under bar. It was my first time at Wrigley. I got to see Skenes pitch. It was awesome. As a baseball fan, I absolutely loved it. Are the Cubs winning the NL Central, Mike?
Ooh.
That's an interesting question. I thought this would be a 2-team race this year between the Reds and the Cubs. I really believe that. And I thought St. Louis just lost too much. I don't like their starting rotation. Now, they played very well against the Orioles this week, and now the Cubs go there this weekend. By the way, we're doing huge events at the bar in Alton, Illinois, which is right across from St. Louis this weekend. I think we have like 400 RSVPs.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, at this Max downtown bar. I was actually trying to get out there this weekend. Derek and I are going next weekend for Reds Cubs. I think Derek and I are going to get to call a half inning of that game because of our sponsorship with Marquee. I keep my fingers crossed.
Oh, my.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my.
I like the rotation for the Cubs. I think Counsell is a huge plus that they got. That's their biggest acquisition is
Agreed.
Craig Counsell. We got to go down to in Arizona to spring training and go through the whole facility and all the different drills he's put in and the emphasis on pitching and the emphasis on like a pitching academy and using technology and analytics in pitching. I think that makes a big difference. But I think it's going to come down to the end. Look, Milwaukee's played very well so far as well. The Pirates are a young team. I know they just blew the lead for Skenes here. He leads with a big lead, and you're going to cost him a win there. I still think he could be NL Rookie of the Year. I think he's still right. He's still live for that. The Pirates are young, but they're not out of it either. So, I mean, this is a wide open race. If I would say yes to the Cubs if I had to pick any one of them, but I have no amount of certainty to bet it at this point. I bet. We talked about Imanaga being so good, right, in their rotation. But how about Assad? I took Assad at 150 to 1 2 weeks ago. I mean, since June 20th last year, he is the best ERA in baseball. I know he gave up 2 again. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs any start either. Very consistent. And he was the only guy that got off to a hot start whose odds didn't tumble, right? They were still 150 to 1. Now, I saw 85 to 1 yesterday, but he's probably got very little shot. But still, no false notes from him either.
On the way out, Mike, 16 million in guaranteed prizes, 6 million in the circa $1.6 million, and 10 million. We think that's going to go up with the Survivor weekly picks coming in. And if you guys are looking to come to Vegas, obviously you can stay at Circa. You got discounts for how many entries you guys are going to do with contest room offers. Check out circasports.com for more information or email info@circasports.com. Mike, thank you for the time. We appreciate it. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of you coming up this summer down there at Circa. Thank you for joining us. Congrats on the announcement. It's going to be a really fun summer for you guys signing up for the contest.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Dave. Be good.
See you,
Appreciate
Mike.
it. That is one Mr. Mike Palm from Circa Sports joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Good to get him on the program.
Every day starting in June for I don't know. We won't have a Cal Ripken streak, but we'll see Mike a lot down there.
Oh yeah, we'll be hanging. If you guys again are looking to sign up for the contest, the Brigade Proxy Service can take care of you guys. 702-570-8255 is the text line, or go to our website, thebvbshow.com, and you can work with us. These two guys, us two, not intermediaries. You're dealing with us for the Brigade Proxy Service each and every year. Now, year 2 for us here for the Bostonian versus the Book. Okay. What happened last night? Luka, 16 of his 33 points in the fourth quarter last night. Mavericks win game 1. What's your immediate takeaway from this series? Because it looks like the Mavericks with Kyrie, they look darn good last night, Dave.
How good was Kyrie in the first half?
Oh.
That was really impressive. I had the pleasure of, so I do Sports Grid every night from 5 to 7. 7 o'clock, I'm getting the text while I'm on the TV. You've been to the house. Everybody's downstairs moving around. I get the text, we're leaving. Oh, everybody's out. I text the wife on a commercial. Date night. Let's go. We're going to watch games, hang out, pick a place. So we ended up at the new Born and Raised out here by the house.
Oh, wow. How's that?
Wall of TVs.
Yeah.
Spectacular. It was great.
Wow.
But walked in and had the whole wall was the TVs. It was so intently watched the games. We're talking. I'm following along with the lines. And I kept saying, like, the whole bar kind of got packed at the end. And everybody, like, even the guys came out of the back. Like, that was a fun game. My takeaway is this. I don't think it's over. I think it's far from over. I kind of like Minnesota in game 2. I got to sleep on it, but I like Minnesota in game 2. I think this is going to be
back and forth, zigzag.
Yeah. I was super impressed though with Kyrie in the first half. And then Luka did what Luka does.
Yeah. Took over.
Hit big shots. He kept doing it.
What do you make of the total? Because again,
just
they keep on betting the under.
I fell for it. I'm like, oh, this will be the under game. Wasn't even close.
Well, I middled it again. So I got over 207.5 and I bet under 222.5 and it fell right in the middle of there. So I got that done last night, hitting on both. And I took the Mavs +4. I chickened out. I liked the Mavericks money line. I should have bet Mavs money line. I chickened out. I took them +4 or 4.5. Yeah, +4.5. Right. And so I got that. So I went 3-0 in the game last night. I don't get it. People like these teams are not playing slow basketball games. Like they're playing up-tempo games.
Number just wrong. I mean, it's just not right. Like
but they're betting it. It's a wrong number at open and they're betting it down. They're making it even worse. Like, it's like, they're betting today? We'll get the Celtics game. They're betting under in the Celtics game. Like, I'm like, what are we doing? We're betting under. Like, what part of game one did you ever think this is going to be a low scoring series? Like, the blowout is the only way this happens. The only way these games are going to go under is if one team annihilates the other in either series. If it's close, games are going over.
Seen this for years. These guys, the bad guys, want to be right so bad. They'll bet this under. The first number they see, they'll bet under. Oh, it's too high. It was high. It's higher than it was last game. Okay. They'll be right once the series. Once. But I don't know. And from what I saw last night, that is exactly the way the series is going to go.
Tight and over. Yeah. And they'll raise it up
in the fourth quarter.
They'll adjust.
Back and forth. Dallas is going to get their opportunities. They're going to get shots. That's what those two do. Now, will they do it again where Kyrie goes off for 24 in the first half? No.
Right.
No. But I don't know. Did you feel like either team had an unusual or elevated game last night?
I thought it was a different type of game than what everyone expected because the T-Wolves were red hot from behind the arc. And then Kyrie just locked down Ant in the first half. And I mean, that was the story. I mean, Anthony Edwards, I mean, you heard Luka in the post game. Like he basically was like, you have Anthony Edwards. We have Kyrie. Next question. Like it was like, okay. So there's something in that Dallas locker room that I find to be very interesting because Kyrie has always been said to be the cancer. He's always said to be the guy that nobody wants to play with. And I get the feeling that in Dallas, he either has changed or Dallas accepts him for who he is, and they like playing with him. They like this version of Kyrie Irving, and right. Luka's good with this version of Kyrie Irving. And they play like that, where first half Kyrie, second half Luka. Uh-oh.
Mr. Anderson just came in the chat and said the Mavs hit 24% of their threes. The T-Wolves may be in trouble.
Fair.
That's what I like to look at. Like if somebody shot, like, the Pacers shot really well in game one. Can they do that again? 24% isn't much. Like that's
no, and that's Dallas's game. Dallas shoots threes. That's what they do. They dribble, drive, kick three. I mean, they're playing the traditional NBA style offense. Two guards, dribble, kick out, open threes, corner threes. That's what they play. So if they hit only, they're below their average. I believe they hit 36% of their threes during the regular season. They're 10% lower. Water finds its level. You're expecting game two them to shoot better.
Give the boys and girls in the chat now something to vote for. Who's winning this series? I like to see. I want to see what people say after game one because it was pretty overwhelming. We had about 70% say Minnesota.
Yeah, and that was a death. I mean, the number of public, if you just talk about public people, whatever. There were so many people on the T-Wolves last night. I mean, the books made a killing, like an absolute killing. Mavericks money line destroyed so many parlays and destroyed so many people's bets last night because everyone was on Minnesota. Everyone was on the under, and everyone was on Minnesota money line to win game one. All got taken off. That's a clearing of the deck by the sports books.
The Minnesota win game one.
Parlay, right? That series. Parlay. See you later. All those bets went down. So, I mean, I think they could still win the series, but it's going to be a dogfight. That's a 7-game series. I can't wait to watch game two because we'll learn a lot in game two.
60% of the people voted that they can sleep on a plane versus 40% no.
Yeah, so it's a coin flip. By the way, Massachusetts shot down the 51% tax rate initiative this morning.
Good.
And I guess one of the senators went on an epic rant that I cannot wait. I've got 2 DMs about it yet from people saying, wait till you see what Senator Keegan did on the floor before they voted for the 51% tax rate. I guess he went ballistic about even voting for it. It was like, boom, it lost. As soon as he was done on his soliloquy, Mass shot it down fast. So no tax rate to be raised. They voted on it, but it will not be raised, at least not in this session with that bill that was up for vote. for 51%, from 20% to 51%, which is New York's tax rate. So Senate shut it down.
Good. Calmer heads prevailed there.
Yep. So Panthers blanked the Rangers 3-0 last night.
Wow.
If Bob plays like this, Florida's winning it all, right? I mean, forget it. Like that's the one place that the Rangers had an advantage. The Rangers goaltending was the advantage. If Bob gets his first shutout of the playoffs and shuts the Rangers out, not many power plays for the Rangers, more power plays for Florida, but what a game for Bobrovsky. He was tremendous.
10 shots on goal for the Rangers after 2 periods. They couldn't get the puck to the net.
5-on-5. Florida was the best 5-on-5 team in hockey.
And it showed last night. They didn't take penalties. They were physical. That was a really physical hockey game. There's a lot of hitting going on. Both sides, which was great. But the frustration started to, I don't know if they lulled them to sleep early, but when they got that lead and it was Tkachuk that scores the goal, and that's like when Marchand scores a goal for the Bruins. Like everyone in the building wants to jump over the glass and choke him out. It's like worth 2.
Right.
And I mean, for a game being in Madison Square Garden, it was like not pulling teeth, but it was like somebody get excited about something. There's nothing to get excited about. They played the perfect road game. I don't know about winning the cup, but if they get this from him, they're winning this series. There's nothing the Rangers can do. They rely a lot on the power play.
Yep.
If they don't get the power plays to get the lead to then play kind of downhill like that, they're going to have a tough time.
I think it's really interesting to see that Florida looked like the fresher team last night.
Oh, they did.
Like Florida, just watching it, you're like, wow, they were quicker to the puck. They were more physical. I felt like the angles that the shots that we're getting through, he was ready for. That Florida had just done an incredible job of taking away the scoring options for the Rangers. And I felt like there was some frustration that set in the later part of that game where they took bad penalties. And I was like, uh-oh. It's like, do the Rangers feel like we're not good enough? Like, at least right now, tonight, they're much better than we are. Because, again, I talked about yesterday, I think Florida is better in every aspect except for goaltending. And if Bobrovsky plays like that, this thing might be over quick. 5?
I don't know. You get the Rangers' best game in the next game.
Yeah.
There's going to be something. I don't want to say Rempe's going to, get the crowd riled up at the beginning, but there's going to be something going on. And, I mean, obviously, if Florida wins game 2,
good night.
Yeah, it's probably 5. But that's exactly it. Mr. Anderson, Florida's forecheck is just insanely good. Bruins couldn't shoot. Neither could the Rangers. I mean, there's no question about that. So, I don't know. I know that the Florida scenario is good for me combined with the basketball. I was super impressed with them last night.
I was super
Game went under.
Too. Yep. Game went way under. It was 2-0, 3-0 open net, but it was only, it was 2-0 for most of that. And you're like, Rangers aren't getting one tonight, guys. Like, I was waiting for Bob to have that bad period. I was waiting for, a soft goal. I was waiting for something to be just like, oh, there's the Bobrovsky we all expected. Never happened.
I heard, I think it was PK Subban or it was Messi. I can't remember which one, but the Rangers were told to shoot it low. And for whatever reason, shoot it in his skates. And they couldn't get shots through. It has to change in game 2. You got to just throw the puck at the net. Like, forget about where we have to get shots. We have to get rebounds. Somebody's got to, buzz the tower, skate through that crease, do something. They hit the post once.
Yep. On a breakaway.
And they had 2 breakaways.
Yep.
He stopped one and that other one hit the post. Either one of those go in, maybe we're talking differently.
Different
today.
game. Fair. I agree.
But Florida was overall the way better team.
Yeah, I love what I said. I mean, if you're a Panther fan, you got to love what you saw last night. That was on the road, stealing game 1, in dictating tempo, pushing your will onto the Rangers, and then getting great goaltending from Bobrovsky. Again, if that's what they play, if that's how this series goes, the Rangers are dead. They can't win this series like that. They need power plays And they need Florida to frankly be a little bit unhinged. And they were perfect last night. They stayed disciplined, did not get out of their, did not do anything out of the ordinary for Florida, stayed out of the box. Crowd was silent. I mean, it was like dead. Couldn't believe it.
It was
No
very different
crowd.
than the usual MSG crowd. It was geeked up at the beginning, and then
like
just
you
couldn't
expect.
do. It was
Well, the first 5 minutes, you had 2 good scoring chances for the Rangers, and they didn't score. And you felt like if they had scored there in that first 5 minutes, then it starts that waterfall and it starts going. But they let Bobrovsky get into the game, didn't score, and then things calmed down, and it went all Florida from that point on. It was all Panthers
and no
Rangers.
penalties.
No,
it wasn't a penalty. There was one penalty on the
2,
Rangers.
Yeah, 2.
Florida had a power play in the first period. The Rangers didn't have
Nothing.
one.
Nope.
So,
big win for Florida. Impressive for sure. All right, I can't put the video up for you guys because I don't know what's allowed and what's not allowed. But Scotty Scheffler, this is going to be one of the craziest stories to follow for the summer because we have new video that came out that showed what the police did with Scotty Scheffler at the PGA. He's facing a felony count, guys. That has to be talked about. This is not a misdemeanor situation. This is a felony charge for assaulting a police officer and not obeying. The video is grainy. It's like a Zapruder film type of shot from way off a camera.
Didn't have Zapruder film reference on the bingo card today. I mean, kids look up Zapruder film. It's a pretty important thing.
So it's hard to see. It's an angle shot. But from what I saw, and the police, there's a spokesperson this morning. They hold this thing, and they reprimanded the cop who arrested him because the cop did not turn his body camera on. So he's now being disciplined. What does that mean for the court case? I don't know, but he should have turned it on. It wasn't on, didn't tape it. Big deal. That's a big problem. So now we have this far back shot of Scotty and the cop slamming his fist up against the window for Scotty Scheffler, who stops immediately, mind you. And look, again, I'm not a police officer. I've never been one. I don't. But watching everyone around what was going on with Scotty's car didn't look like a felony assault had taken place and there weren't a lot of cops running around. So, I mean, don't they drop all these charges? Like, this is going to get bad for Louisville. This is like Scotty Scheffler has said either they're going to drop the charges or we're going to court. Like, his attorney is like, we're going to court and then we're going to turn around and sue you all for what you've done to Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I looked at the video too, and I went, somebody may have exaggerated something here a little bit. Like, it just seems like it wasn't.
Okay, we don't have the full interaction. Full disclosure, we don't know what could have happened before that film began because the body camera wasn't on. Shocking. So that's a big problem for the Louisville Police Department, that information, that is now a he said, she said going into it. And you're going to have the best lawyers in the world going after the Louisville Police Department. And that in the video that we have is really bad for the Louisville Police Department because it doesn't look like Scotty Scheffler did anything but listen to the police.
Yeah, I saw the video on the Twitter and then I read some of the comments and I was like, oh no, like this isn't good for anybody. And
she said, I mean, the spokesperson said, let the video that will come out, let the video speak for itself. And everyone's like, that's not good for you. The video doesn't, I don't think you realize what you're saying. I get you're saying that you think that makes you guys look right, but I think the average person looks at it and says, what did he do? Like what did he do? And Scotty has said that they're going to push this to the limit. They're going to the mat for this. They're going to sue Louisville. They're going to try and exonerate Scotty and then go after Louisville for what they did to him. Because, I mean, look, the guy came in the top 10 on Saturday. He was a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he's going to sue for like winnings or whatnot, but he can make a case of being like, you guys blew my shot at a major golf championship.
That doesn't matter.
Doesn't, but that's his anger could be from that though. Like he may go and spend his money to go after it. And like, look, if they're not going to drop the charges, they're going to be, I believe his lawyer was pretty adamant going like, we're going to trial. Either you drop it or we're going to trial.
Right.
And they must feel like they've got something in their back pocket that it's going to be an open and shut case. Really? If they don't, that's dangerous to do that. To go to case. I mean, I can't wait to see Louisville. I cannot believe they're not just going to get away from this. Like, what is the benefit of going? This is not a serious crime. A guy lost what? A pair of $80 pants that he keeps on talking about? Like, why are you making an example out of Scottie Scheffler? Like, you really want to do that? What's the point of this? Drop the charges down, plead out, and be done with this and move on.
I don't know. I again, give those guys credit. We got policemen, former policemen that watch the show every day, listen to the show every day. You know, that could probably provide us with stories where, you know, this was done and this wasn't, and this, who knows? I don't know. Way above my pay grade.
It was a misunderstanding. He thought he was a security guard. He didn't know he was a cop. It was just a simple misunderstanding. Going down a felony charge on this is insane. It's not worth anyone's time. It's not worth the taxpayers in Kentucky's time. This is not a serious crime. This is not a big deal. Like, and Scotty's not pleading. Like Scotty said, I'm not pleading out. He's like, I'm not doing that. I'm taking you all the way to the mat. Like, if I'm Louisville, I'm like, what is the end result here? Like, this is just a fluky situation where one cop may have been a little bit overzealous.
Well, I mean, you don't know what the feeling was. I mean, somebody did lose their life right before that, right? Like, there was somebody lost their life, that it was an accident that they were kind of protecting the scene and blocking from,
right,
with all of that. So I'm not saying anybody, I have no idea who's right, who's wrong.
It's just a mistake. It's just a simple misunderstanding. Like, it's not a felony. Like, this is like, we're going way, like, felony, a felony. Like, I don't know. I just think if you drop the charges, there'll be protests and riots. Dave Daily Picks. Who is going to riot if Scottie Scheffler has the charges dropped? Who's rioting? No one's rioting if Scottie Scheffler has the.
Wow, really?
Everybody will say, yeah, it makes sense. Drop the charges, move on. Like, it makes complete sense to just get away from this story as fast as possible. There's no one's rioting if Scottie Scheffler gets off on this. It's not like this is a celebrity getting off because he's who he is or how much money he has. It was a golfer trying to go to his hotel. He just got confused. Like, right, I agree. No one's protesting for a multi-millionaire white guy. Yes, to Juice, I would agree with that. 100%. No one's. Yes, and Roger, he's going to sue their draws off. I think that's what they're going to do. I mean, I think I think Louisville's going to get sued really badly for this. And they just let the guy play. Like, like this is such a non-story now, but they keep on doing this, and Louisville's going to push this, and Scotty's going to go, fine, you want to push this? I'm going to push this too. And we're not pleading out. We're going to go to court. I'm going to make you guys show everything that happened. And again, they must feel like they've got some pretty good evidence that shows that Scotty wasn't in the wrong. So not good. Not a good story at all. And it won't go away. And it's going to impact Scotty, I think, from a distraction standpoint. I mean, we've got the U.S. Open coming up next month, then the British. Like, this is a guy trying to do big things in the game of golf, and he's facing a felony charge.
Right.
Which is, could be years in
jail. Shot
a
66 after getting booked.
He did. Shot a 66. Yep.
That's unbelievable.
Yep. Shot a 66. And then he blew up on Saturday and then came back and shot a 65 on Sunday.
Right.
He ripped apart the course on Sunday. So, this might be just me, Dave. The
Phillies just hit a home run, by the way. They just went up 5-2.
There you go. Team total lower. This might just be a me thing, and this might not be. Nobody else may care about this but me. But I got this in my email this morning, and I couldn't believe it. I can't. I just can't. There's an official sports betting odds provider for the Associated Press now.
Yep.
There's an exclusive deal for the Associated Press.
Yep.
BetMGM is now the official odds provider of the Associated Press Sports.
Yes, they are.
What the fuck are we doing?
Well, it only took 74 minutes to get to the F-bomb, and it was Peralt, Will, not me. So you lose.
What are we doing? This is not, I'm not criticizing BetMGM for paying this. Okay. This is not a critique on BetMGM.
No.
I get why BetMGM did it. They want the publicity. They want the out. This is a question to the Associated Press. What are you doing? What are you doing taking money for a sponsorship to use exclusive odds for any sports book? This makes no sense to me.
They paid.
I know they paid. Why'd they take it?
It's money.
I know it's money. Why does the AP need sponsorship money?
Everybody in the media needs sponsorship money.
It's the wire service that everyone uses, that everyone pays for.
They must need the cash.
They must need the cash.
I don't know.
This is really interesting. What are we doing?
Are we wrong? I don't know.
If you're trying to be neutral and you're trying to present the whitest, blandest, simplistic, like the AP, there's no opinion on the AP. You read an AP Wire story is nuts and bolts. That's it. Completely clean, nothing in there. It's just bang, 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 right? It's bang, 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 brought to you by, sponsored by. What?
It's bang, bang, bang.
Just point. I just don't understand what we are doing, taking money for us. So can I, if I'm Buffalo Wild Wings, can I sponsor the reports now on like, on baseball games? Can I do the overtime? If I'm Buffalo Wild Wings, should I go to the AP and be like, hey, by the way, every time you write a story about overtime, can you now say it's the overtime brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings?
Oh, doesn't this open the door for that?
What the hell's the difference? Now I can sponsor everything. Now you're no longer a neutral party providing information. Because if I put you in my paper now, I got to worry that you're now sponsored. Like if I'm a website and I use AP Stories and I'm sponsored by FanDuel, that's my headline. Now I can't put AP Stories anymore. Now I got a BetMGM story running. I can't use the AP anymore.
All the lines are blurred. It's just what
blurred. This is just fuck off. This is not a blurred line. This is one of the dumbest things. I saw this on my email this morning and I went, I'm 47 years old. I feel like I'm in a fever dream. Like I feel like I every day I'm picking up going, what are we doing? Like, is everything for sale? And I get it. It is. It's still stunning to watch that there are certain things in the media world that used to be sacred. Like the Associated Press was supposed to be unbiased. That's it. AP Stories. That's all they write. We know AP guys here in town. Willie does an amazing job. I'm not disparaging anybody in the Associated Press.
Right.
I just can't believe that they're going down this road where every time they're going to write an odds provided by BetMGM.
Yep.
What if the odds suck? What if it's the worst odds on the planet? You're going to, hey, by the way,
the BetMGM sponsorship.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying, what if they're wrong? Again, this is not a critique on BetMGM by any means. I know this is, if it was FanDuel, DraftKings, whomever that would pay this,
right?
It's the fact that they're taking it. So if the number is 4.5 and it's 4 everywhere else, so we're going to put it out there and that you're going to use that as that's the odd of record. That's what you're telling me, that BetMGM now is the odds of record. What?
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
It's the infusion of all of this stuff in everything. I mean, it's happened on the Twitter. I don't have other social medias for a reason. I got to just keep one, and that's where I see everything and get everything. And it's, provided by BetMGM there too. Like they're on everything there. And everyone has to kind of work their way in.
It's a private company that wasn't ever seen as a news reporting agency.
I know.
Twitter was always about opinion. The whole point of Twitter was, hey, here's 120 characters, go spout whatever you want to spout, right? Yeah. So like, fine, there's an official Twitter account, official, book for Twitter. I don't care about those things. It's when you start to bleed into this idea where we expect the Associated Press to not have any bias on anything. This is a paid for bias.
Bias.
I would love to see how many different organizations use the Associated Press wire stories still. I bet it's a pretty big number. A pretty high number. I know AI, and someone in the chat said this, and it's true. Artificial intelligence definitely has impacted the Associated Press because they can write the stories for themselves now. They don't need to pay for the AP anymore because AI writes it for them.
Correct.
AI makes a lot of mistakes still, guys.
A lot
of mistakes. Like a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
So the AP was still written by a human being. Human being writes the AP wire story and fires it out.
I still think that's important, no?
I would agree with that. Yes. I think it is still important. Yes. To have a human being writing these stories.
Did you have an AP style booklet in college?
Yeah, but I never.
When
When I was a writer, sure. Yeah, when I wrote, of course.
you have to have it. That was
Not
a big
anymore.
deal.
AP style's dead on the internet.
Apparently so.
Yeah, it's dead on the internet. It's. See you later. It's
Those
not
of
even,
you old enough to remember that in school, there was an AP style book, like it would tell you, this is the way you say
it
whatever.
still exists. It still exists. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could get this-
Sonic.
you could
I
get
mean,
this
I
book.
love this. The official sports book of PBS is next. Yep. 4-leg parlay didn't cash for Oscar the Grouch. That's coming, right?
Sonic,
NPR. What's
Sonic,
next?
save that one.
I-
We might need that.
I mean, but like, is NPR next? Are we going to have the official sports book of NPR? Is that coming? Is everything going to be there?
if they'll pay, they'll take it. Yes.
If they pay, they'll take it.
Yes. Look, the books are going to get limited on the advertising. It's coming. So they get the media companies and they put it on everything. There's no stopping it until somebody says, no, we're good. They take the money.
And I'm for that. Okay. For the most part, look in media, in art, in sports media, I've long said that everything is for sale. Nothing is bolted down. Everything's for sale. You can literally on this screen, you can buy whatever you want on this screen. I take whatever you want. I don't care. There's a price tag for all of it. It may not be more than you want, but there's a price tag for all of it. Okay.
I ain't taking that right there.
Someone offers you $10 million. You're giving them your Twitter account. Yes, you are.
10 million is a good number.
Okay. Yes, you are. Okay.
10 mil?
$10 million. You're giving them everything you could ever dream. Jessica would kill you otherwise. Sorry, Jess. I'm not taking 10 million because I want my Twitter account. She would kill you. Literally.
That's 10. 10 is good. 10
Okay.
would 10,
So-
10 yeah, 10. I don't need the sports brie cake and sick. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
There is a price tag for everything.
10 mil
So
is
I
a good
get
number.
it. But like at some point when you're the Associated Press, you're supposed to be above it. You don't even have the conversation, no matter what the money is. Say, we're good. We're not going to do sponsorship. It's a strategic play for us. It's not how much money it is. We'd love to take the money, but it would make us look bad. So we don't want to do that. We want to be neutral. We're going to be an unbiased party presenting information to people.
Maybe they
Well, now you're
see
biased.
AI and go, we better take the money.
Yeah, fine. Then you're dead.
Maybe done.
Great. And then the AP is dead. And it was already on its way out anyway. So, like, radio is on its way out. Newspapers on its way out. AP on its way out. Okay. So it's all in the same cash out while you can. It just still pisses me off to see it. Again, I'm not disparaging BetMGM for doing it. I know why they're doing it, but it's a sad thing to watch it erode in front of our eyes and go, what did you just do? Oh, that bag better have been big, boys. That bag better have been heavy. Because I don't get it. I'm saddened by it, to be honest with you. It sucks.
I've been saying this since it started. It's just, again, the lines used to be, there used to be a line. Now there's no line. Now it's all this, that, whatever. But we were at Wrigley Field, and there was a sports book inside Wrigley Field.
Technically on the outside, but yes. I know what you're saying. You can't get, someone pointed that out, you can't get into the park from the book. You got to go out and around.
You just go
out
out
and around.
walk in the gate.
Right. But there are some places where you get from the book into the ballpark.
The place in Cincy was right there.
Yeah.
It was in the ballpark. They had to then move it out of the ballpark because nobody would go to it while it was in the ballpark. So they're going to try that. But yeah, there's no.
Oh, Jimmy Jack is
talking about money in college sports and stuff. We got the next story coming up.
Speaking of Wrigley, by the way, Jimmy Jack's there.
Checking in live from Wrigley. It's hot in a boring game because I'm.
It was a boring game? That couldn't have been a boring game. What are you talking about? Boring game? They came from behind. What do you mean? It was a huge rally for the Giants.
No,
boring.
That's not Wrigley, P-Roll. That's Pittsburgh. He's at the Wrigley now.
Oh, sorry. Cubs. Sorry. Right.
Cubs.
I'm getting my games confused.
1-0.
Oh,
Sixth inning.
That's why it's boring.
Race
Sorry.
Cubs. He's got a pitching duel.
Oh, look out.
But thank you for checking in. We just got a live check-in from Wrigley Field.
That's cool. The NCAA voted, you mentioned it, $2.8 billion antitrust lawsuit settlement for future, by the way, not just current, but future players as well. 2.8 billion.
What is this?
It's a lot of money. That's what it is. It's a whole lot of money.
Who's paying this?
In the spring of 2021, as Yahoo Sports wrote, attorneys for the NCAA appearing before the U.S. Supreme Court argued vehemently against providing each college athlete an additional amount of cash. The amount of money that they were fighting against, $5,980. As Yahoo Sports wrote, 3 years later, in a landmark agreement that will transform the course of major college athletics, the organization left behind its archaic rules, shook off its long-term amateurism argument, and thrust the industry into an era of direct athlete compensation. The amount, $15 billion in new cash, is expected to funnel to athletes over the duration of a 10-year agreement. NCAA Board of Governors cast their votes in support of this. 3 antitrust cases have been settled now for a term of $2.8 billion. That's in back damages, future athlete revenue sharing, and each conference will be spending $1 billion plus annually for this and other potential changes to the association's governance, enforcement, and scholarship structure. This is a seismic change in college sports that is not being talked about or reported nearly enough.
Yeah.
College sports is dead as we know it as of today.
I read this article and I went, okay, this is pro sports. This is not anything. And I got kids in college, and I'm going to have another kid in college in 8 years. And I'm going, now what? What does all this mean? And I don't have a Division I football player who seem like they're all going to benefit from this. But the rest of the sports are going to have a problem. This is not, I don't know what this means. I've read that article twice, and I still was like, all right, maybe someone can explain it.
Well, here's a quote from Gabe Feldman. He is a sports law professor at Tulane and a leading voice in the NCAA litigation matters. Said, quote, "This would be the biggest change in the history of college sports, period. There have been significant changes and incremental changes. The NIL era has opened up a lot of doors, but to have athletes share revenue with schools would not only be monumental, but it would be contrary to what the NCAA has exposed for a century." It's a pretty big comment there from a guy in the know that essentially college sports is dead. The amateurism idea of college sports. We are now professional sports in college.
So now, does that mean, college is essentially unaffordable for a lot of people now.
Yep.
And when you take the loans, you get buried for years.
Disgusting. Right. Yep.
Decades. It takes you to pay back these ridiculous loans. But does that get passed on to regular students? Like, does that mean tuition goes up now? Like, are they paying because they have to? Does everything go up? Tickets and games, everything. Where's
that
the money
could, that could change. It's already existing money. Remember, NCAA tournament is paid in billions. CBS is paying billions for that. So the schools are going to have to cut the players in. So there's going to be payment directly made to players who are participating in college sports. So, that's going to be a big question.
I don't know what any of this means except bad.
Within 14,
what's the positive in this? The players get paid.
Within 14 months, at the start of the 2025 fall semester, the industry's new model is expected to be implemented, permitting schools, but not requiring them, to share revenue with athletes up to a certain quasi-salary cap, as Yahoo Sports describes it.
Oh, man. So you're going to talk, the offensive tackle gets X, the guard gets Y, the quarterback gets A, the backup running back gets Stugatz, he gets nothing, or minimal, whatever.
The revenue sharing deals with athletes will be classified as NIL agreements, with schools providing funds for the use and broadcast of a player's name, image, and likeness, a concept at the heart of the House case, and other non-NIL forms of payment are also an option. There's plenty of questions lingering around the new system. Institutions will be permitted to share with athletes as much as $22 million per year, but that figure is still very much in flux. They found it by getting the 22% of an average Power 5 conference revenue is how they got there.
Oh.
The cap excludes exceptions as a combined $5 million in additional scholarships can be counted total. A new model is expected to eliminate scholarship restrictions while implementing roster limits, a move to avoid more legal fights, but one that could cost schools millions in additional financial aid amid a hotly recruited landscape.
Oh, my goodness.
How does Title IX factor into this? I have yet to hear anybody tell me how Title IX. So baseball is going to be able to fully fund itself. Golf is going to be able to fully fund itself. But how does Title IX factor into this? If I go and say I have a 12-team golf team, you're all on scholarship. If I have a 25-man roster for baseball, you're all on scholarship. You have to offset it with Title IX. You have to go and the women's team gets the same thing. Right?
That's the way it always has been. I would think it would be the same.
I mean, it's not going away. Title IX is still in existence. You still have to do dollar for dollar men to women. So it's like, I can't wait to see what's going to happen on this. Like, this is really interesting to me. Like, sure, there are some women's programs that like LSU gymnastics and whatnot that make a lot of money, but a lot of them, like women's field hockey, do not. So, like, what are we doing?
I don't know.
This story is wild to me. It is. In the article, it does say this. The settlement isn't perfect. It does not protect the NCAA or conference from future lawsuits brought by state attorney generals, does not preempt state NIL or revenue sharing laws, and offers no real ruling for Title IX application, such as a compensation model. The Title IX remains at a campus level to be applied, the document notes, a situation that could lead schools circumventing the federal law by continuously using outside third parties to compensate athletes. Jeffrey Kessler, an attorney in the case, believes Title IX will eventually be resolved in the courtroom. Quote, the courts will decide, he told Yahoo Sports. It doesn't impact us. If we have a settlement, we'll negotiate a system in which athletes will be compensated. The degree of which Title IX applies will be determined by the courts.
Oh.
So we're not done.
Oh, okay.
We're not done with the money or the fight or the lawyers or everything else with this. But if you loved college sports, yuck. Not great. We'll follow that story as the summer progresses for sure.
Yes.
Crazy story in baseball. This is wild. The Orioles got swept for the first time since May 15th of 2022 yesterday when they lost 5-4 to the Cardinals.
Right.
I feel like that was like a really underreported streak.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was over 100. It was 106 consecutive series without being swept.
Tied for the second longest ever. Is that what that is?
Correct. Yep. 106.
Wow.
The number one team, the team that just swept them. The Cardinals did it for 125.
Wow.
That seems like
impressive.
It's a cool streak that got snapped and nobody was talking about it. But they got
How
swept.
long is that? Like 100 consecutive series. Is that over what, 3 years?
May 15th, 2022 was the last time they got swept.
Okay.
So 1.5 seasons or 2 seasons, basically.
Yeah, that's really good.
For Baltimore to not get swept. It's pretty good.
Baltimore plays today. They're gonna beat Chicago. No.
Yeah, good time to bet the Orioles after what just happened. Yeah. Bet the Orioles. Game 2, Celtics laying 8.5 against Indiana. Total is down to 222 or 224.5. What happens in Game 2?
I think more of the same. I think
it's a rout.
You think blowout?
Boston by 15.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think Game 2 looks like Game 1 should have looked like. Game 1 was Game 2. They should have lost Game 1, should have lost Game 2. Game 2 of this series looks like Game 1 of the previous 2 series.
Okay.
Indy had their shot. Boston will make adjustments defensively. Boston will shoot better from behind the arc. Less Al Horford, more Derek White.
Under Al Horford props today.
Probably so. Yeah, I would say so.
Like, Al, we appreciate you being here. Get the rebound, but don't shoot the ball. Pass the ball.
His rebound prop is 11.5. I almost bet it. I was like, darn, that's high.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was high, but he's playing so many minutes because of Porzingis being out. I almost went and bet down on the bench. I almost bet Cornette. I almost bet a couple other guys that are going to, I think Boston's going to go deeper into their bench tonight to limit the amount of time that Al Horford will play. So that could keep his props down.
Jimmy Burke 13 just came in the chat and said, "You can still bet college sports. That's all that matters."
He's right.
Regarding our college sports,
He's right. Right. He's right.
For now, it'll probably
Stevie,
be sponsored
where'd
by
you get
Liberty.
59.5, Stevie? Where'd you
Wow.
get that?
Wow,
I got even money on 60.5 last night. Where'd you get that number? I'm jealous.
nice work.
Woo. I was searching all around last night for 59.5. I couldn't find it. Everybody was the best number I got was 60.5 with over even money. That's the best I could find. Feels like 60 is the point that they think that that's going to be the game.
Right.
Boston scores 60 tonight. So we'll be right on that number. But I think I'll lay the 8.5 with Boston tonight.
I'll be on, but I'm watching hockey.
You're watching hockey. All right.
I'm watching hockey.
Game 1. Who wins?
Dallas.
Me too. I agree. I bet it too.
I think Dallas wins.
I think Dallas is a better team. Am I wrong to think this could be quick? This could be a 5-game series. Where is Edmonton better than Dallas? I
They
can't.
confirm they have the best player.
Okay. Individual player.
Yeah. And I would argue their power play is pretty good too.
It is. Dallas doesn't take many power plays at home. Doesn't take many penalties at home.
Over or under for this.
It's hard. It's 6. I lean towards over, but they've played high scoring games when they've played in the regular season. So I lean towards the over, but if Ottinger's on one, it's 4-1 win. Like that's my worry.
That's actually the handicap.
Okay.
How many goals does Ottinger give up? Stars are scoring 3 minimum. I don't think this is a game like last night where it's 2-1, 2-0, whatever. I think the Stars get 3. If Ottinger gives up a couple.
Does this factor into you at all that DeBoer has not been good at game 1?
I don't know. I mean, at some point you have to start to ask the question. Lenis, you can ask the question. I don't know. He's taken 3 teams to the Western Conference Finals, 3 different teams. He hasn't won a cup yet, right?
Nope. Played for it, but not won.
I like Dallas tonight. I don't know if I mean, I was doing some stuff before the show, just trying to price out the futures and different things and looking around shopping prices because they put up some places put the exacta back up for the basketball, some didn't, and so I was out just looking around, whatever on the apps and writing stuff down. Odds makers got this like Edmonton got no shot.
Right.
Like no shot. And in advance.
I'm not sure they're wrong.
They got no shot of winning the cup.
Edmonton, no shot. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I mean, I tend to agree.
Huh.
It's Dallas is playing really, really well. And Dallas versus Florida would be an unbelievable cup final if you like hockey.
Yeah, it's like Texas, Arizona last year in the World Series. Ain't nobody going to watch it. It's going to be great.
Correct. No one's going to watch it, but it's going to be really good. Very
great.
true. Yeah, everyone's going to be snoozing, going like,
"What are you like? Oh, when's football season?"
Well, I mean, last year was Florida, Vegas. It was the same thing. It was like, why am I watching 2 warm weather teams play against each other? It's the same thing. Florida, Dallas.
Spot up here, and it
we cared it, but the country didn't care about it.
I don't know. Vegas got
what
a little cachet, and no.
The only reason why people in the Northeast watched, if they were Bruins fans, was because it was their former coach trying to win it. That's it. The country did not care. Texas didn't care about it. The Pacific Northwest didn't care about it. It was very regional. It was a very local story for us. It was not a national story. And Dallas versus Florida will be a very similar thing. It'll matter in Dallas. It'll matter in Miami. It won't matter really anywhere else.
Hockey heads, put in your final score tonight.
Because the Rangers getting there would make it a national story.
Of course.
So, I mean, the NHL wants the Rangers in it, but I don't see it.
Tough road to hoe.
Mavericks to win the series.
I see 1-4-1. I wonder what they would say. I don't know. We're going to see.
I think this is my opinion too, Stevie.
4-1. Nicky Ciramello 3-2.
4-1.
Dallas
5-4.
Vinny Lewinsky 4-2 Stars.
Ooh, yep. 4-2 Dallas. Everyone likes Dallas tonight, which scares me a bit, but
right.
I like Dallas too. Oh, there's Raj Randall. He's going Edmonton 4-3.
Okay.
He's going opposite. Skinner's got to be good. Skinner's bad.
Skinner's got to be great.
No shot. No shot. If Skenes bad, good night, good luck, see you later. Series over. If he's bad in this series, he's going to be very good.
Like we've talked about it before, the other series, like with it kind of being correlated,
right?
Well, Edmonton can win an over game. I think they can.
Oh, Edmonton sure. And Dallas can too.
Under game?
No, Edmonton. Dallas. Yeah, all Dallas.
Right. Like it's because Skinner stopped 42 shots and they won 2-1.
Which is,
and I don't know when the last time he stopped 42 shots was.
Wild if that were to happen.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching with us on SiriusXM or listening on SiriusXM and watching on Sports Grid, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Roll Call Friday happening tomorrow. Hope to see you all back
early
tomorrow for an early version, but they won't know on XM and Sports Grid, same time for them. So it's only early for the guys who are live. If you're live on X or YouTube, don't move. You get bonus time. So we'll see on that how that goes. Oh, Dallas in regulation. I don't mind that at all. Plus 120, Jimmy Burke. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. That's not a bad bet. Don't mind that.
That is a good bet.
One story before better to book it. The NFL is now, according to the New York Times, they are negotiating with Italy, Japan, and Saudi Arabia to send regular season games to Italy, Japan, and Saudi Arabia.
What are we doing, P-Roll?
I have no fucking idea.
Now we can fucking say what we really
What are we doing? I saw this. I was
like,
what
is this?
I'm sending my team to Saudi Arabia to play a game that matters. Like England is one thing. All right. Germany, I didn't love it, but like, all right, fine. Germany. Japan?
What the?
Japan? We're sending a team to Japan to play a regular season game. Oh my God. Saudi Arabia? It better be a fucking dome. Like it's going to be 1,000 degrees. Like, what are we doing?
It's too much. This is too much. I understand they're trying to expand the audience, sell merch, get more people to watch it all over the world. Isn't it enough to just do what we're doing now?
Guess not.
This would really fuck up a team.
You think?
Week 7, we're playing the Jets in fucking Saudi Arabia. Well, and we got to do we're not just flying there, we got to do the media tour and
oh yeah, of course,
shake hands and do all this other stuff.
Oh yeah,
I just want to go to my room and study the playbook
and play the game
because I got to figure out how to cover this guy. You're like, it's a job, and this f's it all up.
Oh, it messes and everything. Japan too. I mean, just the time change is so awkward. It's so off. I mean, again, flying from Boston to London is 6 hours. Flying from Boston to LA is 6 hours. So we've seen this travel before from the East Coast to the eastern part or the western part of Europe. We've seen this. We're not going to Asia. Like this is not the same thing, guys. Like this is playing overnight. This is forget your body clock. This is different days. This doesn't make any sense to me. That why? Go play in France. Go play in Greenland or something. Play in Europe. You don't need to play in Japan or Saudi Arabia. Even Italy is crazy. To go play in Italy is nuts from a time change perspective.
I don't get it. I just don't understand it. You can't play an exhibition game there.
No, because they don't want it. Because they don't want it. They don't want the preseason. They want the regular. They're paying the NFL to come for a regular season. They don't want fake football. They want real football. Real games.
It's fine, but I don't know. It's a lot. It's just a lot. They're coming over here, and some of these soccer teams are playing games here, right?
Yep, that's what they're trying to copy. The same thing. They're trying to get the U.S. audience when the Premier League comes here, plays, and when they go to wherever they're going to go, whatever city they want to go to.
It's too much.
It's way too much. Do not get it at all. But yeah, what do we know? We're just fans. It's their game. We just watch it.
It's going to mess up the handicap. I using that game in a contest. I'll tell you that.
Amen to that.
That eliminates that game from when they start playing. I just put a line through the London games now.
Right.
I hate using those games. Hate using those games. You don't have no idea what happened there all week. They fly their way early and this and that. There's just too much guesswork.
Agreed. Time for better to book. All right, better to book it. I'm jealous of Stevie because he's got a better number than I do, but over 60.5 first half, even money. Celtics. Better to book it. Same bet as game one.
I think for sure at home, I think you got to do it again, right?
Yeah. Just until it misses. Just keep
Phillies
rolling with
just
it.
won 5-2. Final.
Beautiful. Run line again. They won all 4 games on the run line against Texas. Holy crap. That's amazing. That's money. I left money on the table. That sucks. Obi Toppin, over 8.5 points. They've changed the juice, not the number of points. 6 games, every game, 10 or more points for Obi Toppin.
I'm hesitant, but I say bet it.
Okay. Derek White, I think, has a big game. Over 25.5 points, rebound, assists. He went over this in game one.
Heavy juice?
Nope. Minus 110.
Oh.
Same juice.
I think this is a bet too. He's the beneficiary of having it not. Did he hit this number in the first game?
Yep. But it was more because he had 9 assists.
Oh, okay.
So the assist number was high. I mean, he flew. It's 4.5 normally. He doubled it in game one. I think he shoots more. He scores more in this game. I think he scores 20 points tonight. He scored 15 in game one. I think he scores 20 tonight.
All right.
I think he's a bigger factor of scoring the ball versus passing the basketball because he was passing the ball to Derek. He was passing the ball to Horford and the 3-point shooters. I think he scores more tonight.
I'm gonna send these to Jack for Sports Grid later. I'm gonna call Peralt's picks.
Go ahead. Toppin
props.
Oh God, no! People have already pitched that to me. I've already said no. I've already said no to the Peralt the Peralt prop of the day. Already said no.
Oh, here we go.
That was pitched to me already, and I said I am not doing that. Thank you very much. I don't like prop betting that much to do that. So,
I know, right?
Yeah, no, thank you. The P alliteration, no, thank you. Dallas money line minus 127.
See, and they come at me with the Dave alliteration with the D's. They won't want the D. I don't want the D. Not for me. I want Dallas tonight, though. What? Stop. Show's almost over. What? I got you. I got you with that one. I don't want the D.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, but
it's just saying. No D. I like D's on the hat, so.
Yeah. B's. Those are B's, not D's.
These are B's.
We like B's.
I like the hat.
We like the B's.
Bias to those. Dallas wins. Yes.
He just likes it. So
the juice.
Pedro's in Brazil. Brazilian soccer fan here.
What?
We hate that some of the soccer games going to the U.S. too. Messes up the routine. And there's our Brazilian friends. Pedro Franco.
Pedro.
That's tremendous. That's great.
Where is Pedro?
Brazil.
Well, he's a Brazilian soccer fan, but is he in Brazil?
I think he's in. I mean, that's what I was.
Pedro, type where you're at in the chat. That's tremendous.
I was assuming he was in Brazil. That's
we got to add that to the list. If Pedro's watching the show in Brazil, that puts the country number. It changes the country number.
It does. But now I believe if that's where he is. So it'll be good.
All right.
So we'll have that. Favorite thing. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
Rio de Janeiro.
Told you he was in Brazil.
I've never been to Rio de Janeiro.
I figured he was in Brazil.
Hello, Pedro.
Brazil with Roll Call Thursday. That's tremendous. What's up, dude? That's great. Thanks for watching in Brazil. That's really cool. That's very fun. That's
Brazilian BVB.
Go mail him a hat there.
Brazil hat. I love those uniforms.
You could do a sick yellow hat, green bees, white V.
Oh!
You could do a really cool Brazilian version.
I'm very excited right now.
You could do a cool version. Yep.
Franco just inspired me by a Brazilian hat.
100%. You could do a really cool Brazil model for Rio. Yep. That green and yellow pops.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it pops.
Corbin, if you're watching the show, put it on the list.
In a yellow hat with the green bees in a white V and a yellow do the green.
Crap.
Yep.
Oh my, international.
And you could do the Brazilian. You could do Brazilian Brigade on the side. Do Brazilian Brigade on that. in cursive.
Oh, my mind's racing. Oh, my mind's racing. That would be dope. The juice is right.
Oh, when's Copa America? Just time for Copa America? When's that?
What?
I don't know. Oh, he's going to wear it. He's going to wear it down there.
Damn right, Pedro. We'll ship international. Oh, my. You're going to have to send an email. thebvbshow.com.
Wait. What?
Bear. What?
We're in bonus time.
We're in bonus time. Hello.
What is
Hello.
What is
It's not that V.
What does that
Talking
mean?
about the D's and the V's. You guys have got a B and a V on the hat.
What does that mean?
With the V.
What does that mean?
This is
Bear
now
vaginas
completely off the rails.
The
Bonus
fuck?
time has gotten
What the
completely
fuck are
loose
we-
before the
Oh
holiday.
my god! Wow. Favorite thing about today is what?
I had something prepared, but I think it's Pedro watching the show in Rio de Janeiro.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
No, favorite thing about today is that it's the second day officially of summer vacation.
One for me.
Yeah, I have the kids are out playing pickleball at night. Don't know, like I just whatever. But I had date night last night. Two of us sat, had dinner. It was very amicable. It was very enjoyable, and it's a 21 and over place only.
Right.
So-
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's
It's a cool bar. Cool place.
you
It's
know-
why they're expanded. It's a good. It was Henderson first, but now it's
yeah.
over on our side of
that
town.
that was kind of fun to listen. I love the kids, but it was an hour and a half of just the two of us.
Oh yeah, it's important.
It's huge.
It's really
It's
important.
huge. You got to do it. And
Yep. Agreed.
I already, I waved at her today. She left. I said, "How about another date night?" That was fun. It was expensive, nice meal, whatever, but it was worth it. So my favorite thing about today is like take the time for the people in your life when you can, because all this other bullshit is one thing. You guys get here every day for the ish time. It's important. We know how important it is. We thank you. Just make time for them other people in your life too that are important.
Amen to that. So yeah, I have two. One, give a shout out to my daughter who 4 A's and 1 B for fourth grade. So
Good.
congratulations to Madeline. So she is excited to spend some money that she gets for that. So I kind of do the money reward thing. So
Ish.
she gets to spend some cash for doing well in school. So congrats to Maddie. She's upstairs being pretty quiet. I gotta admit, I was expecting at least one burst in today during the show. So that's been fun. And then, well, you're right. Sorry, 2 super chats. One, Stevie Anderson. Skeen was fatigued from Olivia Dunn. That's why I didn't pitch well.
I swear, I tweeted it right before the show. They asked the kid in the stands, "What do you like about coming to the Pirate game when Skenes pitches?" And he goes, "I like Paul Skenes' mustache and Livy Dunn."
No, we did not.
Oh, it's on my Twitter at SportsBeat Cake and Sick. Yeah,
Wow.
I quote tweeted it with the kids know. He has
Wow.
fake mustache on, a Pirate jersey on.
I like
And he
Olivia
said it.
Dunn.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And then look at our guy, Big Business. Hey, boys, first time in a long time. Catching a
Oh,
live show.
boy.
See you both in 3 weeks. Time for the contest. Miss you too. Miss the brigade. Big hug, tiny kisses. Cue the Pantera. Go Stars.
Woo!
Let's go, Big Business. Your team.
What kind of year are they having right
In
now?
Dallas? Hell of a year.
Texas Rangers win the World Series.
Yep.
Come back. The Mavericks are in the Western Conference Finals with a 1-0 lead. And the Dallas Stars are the favorite to win the Western Conference and get to the Stanley Cup. And this guy's coming in 3 weeks. He might be bringing a Stanley Cup t-shirt directly from Dallas. I might need one of those. You know what I'm saying?
It's phenomenal. So we'll see you here in Vegas. Looking forward to signing you up again for the Brigade Proxy Service.
sir.
Very, very cool. And then finally, I'm on a plane tonight. I have not spent last time I was in New England for Memorial Day. I don't remember.
You don't remember because you were incapacitated?
No, I think I might have been like 21 years old.
Oh,
I'm never home over this weekend. Never. I can't tell you the last time I was home. So I'm excited to be there for Memorial Day weekend. So tomorrow, Roll Call Friday, the show may be a little bit early. I'm going to try to do it around 12:30 Eastern because I'm on a red eye. And my guess is that around like 4 o'clock tomorrow night, I'm going to be a mess. So I need to get the show in while I can work on adrenaline, because I'm probably going to sleep for like 3 hours in the plane tonight. So looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to
Are you
seeing.
taking any naps or anything between now and the flight?
Nap? I can't sleep right now. What do you mean? I got a 9-year-old girl running around upstairs. How am I napping?
Do you need
I got
a
a
ride to the
pack.
airport?
I got a pack.
Do you need a
You
ride
can
to the
drive to the
airport?
airport if you want. Sure. If you want to. Sure.
What kind of car you got this week?
Oh, no, I can't actually. I have to drive Madeline. I got to drop her off. So I have to drop her off. I have to drop her off at her mom's work.
Oh.
And then go to the airport from there.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have to do it.
Let me know.
You don't want to be around my ex.
I don't mind. I'll wave. Say hello. I ain't seen her for a while.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's on purpose. Okay. So back tomorrow, roll call Friday early from New England. Me out of Vegas. Dave still here, but we'll do roll call Friday early tomorrow. He's Dave.
Set the like button and subscribe button so you get the alert when the show starts.
And by the way, if this happens, taking a picture at Christ the Redeemer statue might be the coolest place ever to take a BVB hat. If we have a hat picture at Christ the Redeemer in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, that might be the coolest. I may actually print that out. Like if you get that done, I will probably get that printed out. I'll put that at my house. That'll be the fucking coolest thing ever.
Amazing.
We get a BVB hat in fucking Rio de Janeiro. That would be unbelievable.
I'm going to have to do some serious research and consider the Brazilian models.
Be very, very cool. So Pedro, we'll hope to see you tomorrow for Roll Call Friday. Hope to see all you guys tomorrow for Roll Call Friday. He's Dave. I'm Matt. Back tomorrow for BVB.